Hello, this is Patrick with Royas, and today I'll be teaching you how to handle touch input with C# in Godot. So the first thing we'll need to do is create a couple of scenes that will allow us to see where we are touching and where the touch started. So the first thing we're going to do is make a node 2D. And then in this node 2D, we are going to make a sprite 2D. And then we are going to make a rich text label as well. So we're going to go up to this node 2D and set the sprite to be this circle that I've made in GIMP. It's just a very basic thing. I am just going to leave the texture normal, and then I'm going to change the text to just say 0. I'm going to go to the visibility and modulate this to be black text. Then I am going to make this text the center of this circle. About there is about the center. Then I am going to go and save branches scene, and then I will say touch position. I'll save that, then I will delete that, and then I will make another sprite 2D, and I will just set the sprite to be a circle. I'm going to make the circle smaller, so transform scale I'll just set to 0.25, and then I will save this as its own scene as well, and I'll just say original touch point. Then I am going to delete that. Now I've got a script on this node 2D for the touch input, and so I'm just going to open that up. As you can see, I've got nothing in here, so the first thing I'm going to do is go up here and go using system dot. Okay, as you can see, this script is empty, so the first thing I'm going to do is go up here and change this to system.collections.generic. Then I am going to export to packed scenes, so packed scene, and then this will be the touch point scene, and then I'll make another one, export packed scene, and then this will be the original touch point scene. Then I'll make a dictionary, so I'll do private dictionary int, and then actually I'm going to go down here and make a private struct, and then this will be touch data. This will have a public node 2D touch point, and then another public node 2D original touch point. Now this will take in a touch data, and I'll call this touch data is equal to new dictionary. Perfect. Then we'll just go and get the input. So we'll go public override input. Now we'll say, now we need to determine if this event is a touch event. So we'll say if the event is touch input event touch screen touch, and then I'll just call it touch. Then we'll know that the input event is a screen touch. So now with that screen touch, we can see if they pressed it or released it. So we'll say if touch dot is pressed, then this is a new touch that has begun, and then we can just have an else, and that means that the touch has ended. So if the touch has begun, we can spawn those touch points. So we'll go node 2D, new touch point is equal to touch point scene dot instantiate, and then we will instantiate with the node 2D, so we'll get the transform. We'll do this again with the original. Perfect. Now we'll add those children. So add child, new touch point, and then add child, new original touch point. Now we'll need to set these to be at the position we want them to be. So we can go new touch point dot position is equal to touch dot position. So you'll see here that this touch position is in screen global coordinates. So this will match the offsets. So it won't just be screen space positions. So we can just set our objects that are screen space to that. So then we can go new original touch point dot position is equal to touch dot position. So now they'll be in the same spot. Now we'll store those in touch data. So we'll go touch data temp touch data is equal to new touch data. And then we can set the touch point is equal to new touch point, no semicolon, comma, my bad. And then we will set the original touch point equal to new original touch point. Perfect. Then we'll go to touch data dot add, and we can add those touch points or this new touch data to the dictionary. So we'll just pass in the touch dot index. It'll save that index for you so that you know the order of the fingers that touch the screen. And then we'll put in temp touch data. That'll add it to the dictionary. And if they let go, we'll just delete those. So we'll go touch data dot remove touch dot index. Actually, we'll first have to get that. So we'll get touch data dot get touch data touch dot index dot original touch point dot q3 and touch data touch dot index dot touch point dot q. And so now we've removed it. But if you remember in this scene, where did I save those? Oh, there we go. I have the text, so we're going to set the text, and actually we should probably set these to be in front of everything. So I'm just going to set the Z index to 1 on the sprite, and the rich text label, the Z index, or in the ordering, will be 2. So that way they stay in the correct order. Now I'm going to go back, and we're going to go actually, and I'm going to set this to be, I'm just going to call it text, and I'm going to set it to be the unique name. Perfect. So now on this new touch point dot get node rich text label Was it a capital T or a lowercase? Capital T. Text. Then we can set the text on that to be equal to the touch dot index dot toString, so that each touch point will show the index that it is. So I'm just gonna build this and run it on my phone real quick so that I can show you guys it working. Be right back. All right, so I've got my phone up and running on Android Studio here. So if you see, I can touch and it shows where I'm touching, and I can touch multiple times and it shows each finger number. But as I move my fingers around, it's not moving the dots. So that means that this is not done. We need to get dragging in so that we can maybe move things or tap things and drag them around on the screen. Also, in Godot, I completely forgot to add the scenes to the export variables that I made earlier. So don't forget to do that. Okay, now to get the dragging working. In order to do that, we can just easily go over here and say put an else if. So we've got this if is event is input screen touch. We can go else if event is input event screen drag, and we'll call this drag. So then we can say touch data is equal to touch data, and then we can pass in the drag dot index, and this index will correspond to the index we get on from the inputs event screen touch. So then we'll just see if data doesn't or is equal to null, we'll return, since it's, oh right, it's a struct. I'll make this a class so that we can do the null. So if the data is equal to null, we'll just return. And then we can say data dot touch point dot position is equal to drag dot position. And now the bigger dots will follow wherever we're touching on the screen, and the small dots will stay where we leave them. So I'll just get that running on my phone again to show you. All right, I have the updated version running on my phone. And as you can see, I can drag and touch and it works perfectly. So that's the general gist of how you can do screen touching or get screen inputs on with Godot. Well, if you found this video helpful, please like and subscribe. And if you have any suggestions or questions, please leave them in the comments. Thanks. Bye.